Hola, amigos. Welcome to Spain Impossible. I'm your host, Jim, and today we are discussing the 5 paths to weight loss that obesity can take. And you're going to want to stick around to the end because the number one is, in my mind, the best option for anyone that needs to lose 50, 80, 100, 150, 200 pounds. So stay tuned. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. If you're new here, welcome. Hit the old subscribe button because you are going to want to follow along because this is going to be one hell of a journey. Remember to smash the old like button up there, and I will dive right into today's topic, which is 5 paths that weight loss can take when you have the obesity problem, which I have more than 100 pounds to lose. My current goal is 100 pounds in a year. I am down 31 point something as of today, and I'm 11 weeks in. So, I mean, this works. It works. But let's discuss these 5 different paths. So, a common thing that we hear as people that are obese and labeled that way because of the BMI that a lot of times is incorrect, particularly if you were in sports when you were younger and you've got a lot of muscle, things like that. But it's what doctors go by. And when you see your regular physician, your, what do they call it? The primary care physician, he's going to start talking about the number one thing, which is medications for diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. All of these things are due to the way that we eat, the standard American diet. S-A-D, sad. And it truly is sad because not only does the SAD diet affect us Americans, but it is starting to affect people all over the world as they get this Americanization of their diet through fast foods and all of these other things. Anyways, we won't go into all that. We'll start talking about the medications that you can go on so you can continue to lead the standard American diet life and go, oh, well, I got a pill for that, and I got a pill for that, and I got a pill for that, so I can just go ahead and eat whatever I want to eat. But that doesn't lead to any weight loss. That leads to a maintenance and probably gaining several pounds every year. And all of those side effects, I mean, metformin, you've got the simple ones like nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, headache, muscle pain. And then you've got the really bad ones like vitamin B12 deficiency or lactic acidosis. That's always what I want to have. Not everybody gets those, but they are some of the side effects. Now, what about the statin drugs? They're pretty good, right? I mean, their side effects are, a lot of those stomach issues. So, you take the metformin and then you take the statin and, you wonder why you have nausea, vomiting, and stomach pain. But, with statins, we're talking liver damage. I want some of that. That's why I quit alcohol, so I can damage my liver in another way. Memory loss and confusion. What? Huh? Where am I at? What am I doing? Let's have some fun here. And then there's a really bad one that nobody talks about, and that's, I'm going to slaughter this word. It's like rhabdomyolysis, something like that. But basically what it means is rapid muscle loss, which is one of the really bad side effects of statins. And then you've got your blood pressure drugs, because remember, your doctor's going to put you on all 3 of these because that's kind of what the insurance companies like to see. At least that's what I was told by my PCP. And you've got all those stomach issues again. So you're going to have vomiting, nausea, diarrhea, gastrointestinal problems. And hey, what dude out there doesn't want the ED that comes along with those blood pressure drugs. Give me some more of that erectile dysfunction. I love it. Anyways, all joking aside, let's move on to number 2. And number 2 is the newfangled stuff, the GLP-1 drugs like Wegovy and Ozempic and whatever the other names are. Zepbound and blah, 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 blah. But it's a drug that you take and you inject yourself with. Perfect, right? At-home injections are always sterile. But these have some pretty bad side effects too. Mostly in the stomach and gastro, the nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, those types of things. But, then you get into the really bad ones like pancreatitis. That's what I want. And how about gallbladder issues? So now when you eat food, it makes you sick because your gallbladder's messed up. And then there's my personal favorite, what they're now calling Ozempic face. That's what I want when I'm over 50 years old. Because, hey, who cares what you look like as long as you lose a certain percentage of your body weight? But wait a minute. There's one thing that most people don't talk about. All of the, clinical trials on these drugs say that after a year, you stop losing weight. So you lose weight for a year, and then you have to continue injecting yourself with this stuff. Otherwise, the weight comes back on, and it brings friends with it, just like when you yo-yo dieted all your life, right? So that brings us to number 3. And number 3 is bariatric surgery. It's saved many lives, I guess. I don't know. I've done a little bit of research on it and decided it wasn't for me. You've got the gastric sleeve, and then you've got the full bypass where they make your stomach like the size of a ping pong ball and take out most of your small intestine and attach it straight to the large intestine. So, long-term side effects, because you're never getting that plumbing back. They don't put it back in after you've lost the weight. So whatever side effects you have, you're going to deal with for the rest of the time that you are alive, and those are things like vomiting, dehydration, vitamin deficiencies, which, hey, those are great things to have, right? Who wants some scurvy? But then there's really cool things like dumping syndrome, where the food gets into your stomach and your stomach gets full and it just pushes it into the intestine and it's not broken down at all. That's great for you. Oh yeah. And many people that have these procedures lose a significant amount of weight and then gain it back and have to have a revision. So twice the surgery. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to have a little bit of fun with this. And it's because this is where I was at. This is where you're at if you need to lose 80, 100, 200 pounds. I needed to lose 100 pounds. And it comes down to the food. Let food be thy medicine. So number 4 is we can do nothing. We can do absolutely nothing. Just sad ourselves until we are in the grave. Just continue to eat and continue to eat and continue to eat all of the crap that's put in front of us until we're dead. Don't medicate it. Don't do anything. Just, hey, I'm going to have a heart attack or a stroke one day. And that's that. So you're just continuing to shorten your life. Like, you can get some of this back. You really can. Like, you can reverse many of the symptoms that you have due to obesity by losing weight and eating healthier. So, you do nothing. You don't take the drugs the doctor wants you to take because they make you feel like crap. And you just continue to eat and eat and eat and eat. And, then you get a little bit older and you have a heart attack or a stroke kills you, or you get the diabetes and, it starts taking your vision and perhaps a few body parts with it. Who needs all those toes anyways, right? So that's where I was at, man. I mean, what am I going to do? And last year, I stumbled across number 5. And I mean, I stumbled across it. All of these years that I have spent researching and trying to figure out how to diet and how to take this weight off, and it's like it all came out of my head at once and became this program that I call the Blueprint. And the Blueprint, for me, is the way to go. On my other videos, I've shown you how quickly my labs improve. 100 days. And it wasn't that I was being medicated for these things, but I was at the point where doc's going, we might need to medicate you for some of this stuff because otherwise you're going to be in category number 4 and just do nothing and have a heart attack or a stroke. So the Blueprint is a better alternative. It's simple, it's easy, it works. And how it works is you start slow. You start by making changes to the way that you think and the way that you eat. And you change the way that your meals are laid out during the day. And you only have 3 meals. There's no snacks. There's no need for any snacks because you're never hungry. You get plenty of food in these 3 meals. And the weight just comes off. And the cholesterol just goes down. And the diabetes just goes away. And the blood pressure just comes down. Because it's based on the only diet that has ever scientifically been proven to increase all-cause mortality. And that is the whole food, plant-based diet. But we start slow. We get into it by adding plants into our meals that we're already having and still having some things that we enjoyed before, at least through the first 12 weeks. And then once you get to 12 weeks, then we start going, hey, we need to start thinking about how do we get more plants in? How do we get more plants in? How do we get rid of some of the meats and the cheeses and the eggs and the chicken and all of those things? And you don't have to wipe them out completely. You just need to be looking to improve to the point where you're only having meat or eggs or things like that, a meal or 2, 3 to 4 maximum throughout the course of your week. And you control the portions of those things. So, it's, I don't know how it all fell out of my brain. But as I was journaling it, as the weight was coming off, I was like, this is what I've been searching for my entire life. This is so easy. So, let's talk about the side effects of the Blueprint. It melts weight off. I lose close to 3 pounds every single week. And I'm not losing all of it in muscle or all of it in water. So what does that leave? It leaves fat. Yes, I lose small amounts of muscle. I want to say out of the 30 pounds that I've lost, maybe 3 have been muscle. So all the rest of it's fat. But there are some horrible side effects to the Blueprint. Never being hungry, not craving all those sad foods anymore, taking control of what you're stuffing in your pie hole every day, and watching those labs improve. So those numbers are coming down and medications are no longer needed so that you don't have to deal with all those side effects that we were talking about. And the really big side effect, the really bad one, if you follow the Blueprint and you continue it on and you reach your goal weight, you're finally going to be healthy for the rest of your life. That's the kind of side effects I want. I don't know about you. It is a lifestyle change. But the good news is as you follow it, as you get used to looking at food in a different way, you form the habit. And as you do King, Prince, Pauper, it becomes a habit. So you don't even have to think about it. At some point in time, you'll just be doing it. And that's what the sad diet does to us. It becomes habit to munch that bag of Doritos and those candy bars and have those little circles of death they call donuts. I'm not demonizing donuts. I have one once in a great while. I've just always called them little circles of death. I don't know why. But all it takes is making the effort to think about what you're eating. That's what it takes. It doesn't take a whole heck of a lot of skills to learn how to make a smoothie. It doesn't take a whole heck of a lot of skills to change your dinners that are probably gargantuan portion sizes to what we call the pauper meal, which is like tapas, just some light things that you can eat and then you're done. So it is, I just, every day, I'm like, I can't believe how easy this is. I can't believe how easy this is. Every week when I finish doing my weekly tracking sheet and the weight is down, 2.5, 3 pounds. This week, more than 3. So every week I'm like, this is the best freaking thing ever. And there's no yo-yo to it. If you stay on it, it becomes a habit. And once it's a habit, you're not really thinking about it. Habits are subconscious. So hop over to the channel. Check out the Fat Loss After 50 Vodcast. That's where all the steps to the blueprint are being posted. It's where I tell you everything. I am not going, for $97, I'll send you a PDF. Or jump on my webinar and I'll teach you everything you need to know as long as you're willing to pay $1,000 for this masterclass. No, this changed my life. And it changed my outlook on life. And I want that for other people. So I'm giving it away free. All of the resources on SpainImpossible.com are free. You don't even have to put in an email address so that I annoy you with weekly emails that are quote unquote newsletter that are just trying to sell you things. That's not what I'm doing here. I'm posting all of this stuff for free because I don't know whose life it will change. But if somebody out there, it changes their life and they could not have afforded $97, God forbid, $1,000, then this will change their life and it's free. So if you've made it this far, why haven't you subscribed yet? Like seriously, smash that subscribe, hit the notification bell, smash the old thumbs up button. Let YouTube know, hey, this guy might have something that other people might need. And if you got value and you enjoy the blueprint, I will put the QR code up here. Help me keep this free for everyone. Just hop over and buy me a coffee or buy me, 3 or 5 or whatever you can afford to help with so this stays free. I don't want to put it behind a paywall. So just help me keep it free because I know there's so many people out there that need this. If I would have gotten my hands on this when I was in my 20s or 30s, game over. I would have gotten healthy back then. Now I'm in my 50s and I've eaten the standard American diet my whole life. And, I needed to have my diabetes come under control. I needed to have my cholesterol come under control. I needed to have my blood pressure come under control. And the blueprint did it. And I'm serious. I am never hungry. I don't ever snack in between meals. I eat 3 meals a day and I'm fine because the food fills you and keeps you satisfied. So check it out. I'll put a video up here somewhere or something, or just go to the channel. I'll link it in the description. It's real simple. It says start here and start there. And then you can watch the rest of them and figure out what this whole thing's about. But it is the simplest, easiest way I have ever lost weight in my life. And it continues to come off week in and week out. So thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. Remember to come along for the journey, because it's going to be one hell of a journey. Hasta luego.